when you go through those periods, I'm sure you're feeling this right now. All you want to do is just grind.
Yeah.
You're just like, dude, screw everything. I'm locked in. All I want to do is see, the next biggest number in my bank account.
Caleb, thank you for coming.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Step up, do this as fast as you can, grind 24/7.
$1 million a year, you're nothing.
Yeah, if you're not doing $1 million a year, like the younger you do it, the better.
Yeah.
Like, you get to miss out on so much life.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really refreshing to the fact that hearing you say like, we're taking it easy, and like you being happy. I can see like you're happy.
Yeah. I think every kid should go through that as they kind of make their way up into the world, is have those rocky cutscenes. But I will say I've reached a point in my life that I'm realizing that I just want to enjoy life. Of course, I wish I would have done 250,000 the first year. That'd be great. It'd look cool on paper. I don't think for me that it is worth it to take like a massive hit on my mental state, possibly not have the relationship that I'm in. When it gets really, really hard, that's when all right, this is where everybody quits. This is how to be successul. This is where everybody falls off. And this is where I am willing to be better than everybody else because I'm willing to push through it. That's when you make money.
Yeah, hard things are hard for a reason.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to give someone a list of habits, of things that they would have to look into themselves and fix in order to become the perfect husband or a reflection of the perfect partner. What would those be?
I would say the first one would be...
Real quick, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button, drop a comment, subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. And if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, leave us a review. It'll help us out big time, and it'll let us know that you guys actually like what we're putting out. All right, let's jump right in. Caleb, thank you for coming.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude, it's funny because though I know you because one time I searched up how to change my oil on an X mark.
No.
How to change oil on an X mark on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you showed up and I was like, hold on. I think I've seen him somewhere else. And then I went on the directory, like everyone's pictures, and I was like, oh shit, he's right there. And then I saw like,
Was this before or after I made your maintenance plan?
Oh, this was way before. Way before.
Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
I had to make him a maintenance plan.
I love it. I love that. There's so many guys that have no idea. Like me and you are different.
Yeah.
Because we've just grown up in it.
We're mechanically inclined, I guess.
Yeah. I've wrenched since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So many people haven't ever touched anything mechanical.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome. If you're willing to like dive into an industry that is solely about operating, something, whether it's a weed eater or blower or mower, to dive into that without any external knowledge, like that's great. I love that. I love to see it.
Willing to learn.
I know I had to, dude. I probably watched that video over like 10 times. Just that single video.
No way.
Changing the oil.
Yeah, it's simple, easy, and but I will say, dude, we could dive into that. It's a whole thing. Like the drain plugs are weird.
Yeah.
It's a strange setup.
It's crazy.
I put a few videos out there. I wanted to make more of them. There's a whole bunch of reasons as to why I didn't really do more. But I liked to just put stuff out there for my guys that I was managing at the time. That way they could just go and watch them, learn stuff. I didn't even consider making them public. But I was like, well, if somebody else wants to search this up, then they can do so.
I guess I'll go ahead and put a pause on this for just a second. This is Caleb. He is I don't even know, I guess an owner of a location here
Indeed.
in Tennessee, Knoxville area. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I am west of the Knoxville branch. My dad, Jason Storts, owns the Knoxville branch and the Maryville branch. And I just started the Farragut branch, which is just west of the Knoxville branch. Started at the beginning of the season. Been doing lawn care for a long time, but wanted to start my own gig. And here we are, a year in. So
how's it like?
Love it.
Really?
It's so nice doing my own gig because you get to see me growing up in it. This is really all I've ever known, but I've never respected what it takes to start something new. And seeing the ins and outs of it and being able to navigate it for myself and have my own opinion is super healthy. And it's helped me learn a lot, and I've loved it so much. It's great. I'm having a blast.
Where are you at in like business wise, like revenue?
Revenue is probably 92, I think. Especially with the last leaf job we just did, which was massive. I think that was like $3,800 leaf cleanup. We were at 46 man hours, or maybe a little bit more. I think maybe a little over. Yeah, I would love to close out at 100 grand. Dude, it's been an easy year. I've just been coasting, like straight up. I haven't pushed at all. I'm in a new relationship, experiencing a lot of different things in my life right now, personal life, and I wanted to push a lot harder, but I've built a pickup truck that I've always wanted to kind of toy around with, and yeah, just having fun, man.
It's that southern thing that you don't know about.
I don't know about it, but I like it though. Yeah, I think it's important, and it kind of what you're talking about, just having fun, kind of coasting a little bit, just taking your time with things.
Yeah,
it's something that you don't see often because we're built in, like this culture has been built in. So like, yo, you gotta do it now. You gotta do it right now. You gotta step up, do this as fast as you can, grind 24/7.
If you're not doing $1 million a year, you're nothing.
Yeah, if you're not doing $1 million a year, like the younger you do it, the better. Which it has its pros, right? But it
absolutely
completely has its like own cons that no one talks about, right? Yeah. Like, you get to miss out on so much life.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really refreshing to the fact that hearing you say like, we're taking it easy, and like you being happy. I can see like you're happy.
Yeah. I'm thrilled with, like, of course, I wish I would have done 250,000 the first year. That'd be great. It'd look cool on paper, but I don't think for me that it is worth it to take like a massive hit on my mental state, possibly not have the relationship that I'm in, which I wouldn't trade for the world. And just, I don't know, just not enjoy it as much. I burn out super easily. And so, which I've learned in the past. And so I'm so much more willing to just like, we're going to get it eventually. I don't care if it takes me, 10 years. Like, I'll be there, bro. I'll still be in the game. And we're going to be enjoying every bit of it, not just, getting there as fast as humanly possible.
That's so crazy. Like, just hearing that, I'm kind of like shocked because every single person I've talked to up to now, including myself, it's just like go, 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 go. Yeah. Right? Like, we have 5-year plans, get to $1 million in 5 years, do it as fast as I can, no matter what. Like, you pay any single price, you'll lose whoever you need to lose, you'll break whatever you need to break, you're going to break yourself as many times as you need to break, but you're going to get it done. Right. So just hearing like, no, I don't want to. Like, I don't want to break things. I want to go slow. I don't want to burn out. I want to take care of my people. I want to take care of myself, my mental health. It's really refreshing.
I think that's slightly a problem. Because like one of the things that, like, little context clues, before I joined Augusta, I spoke to your father, Jason. Yep. And the number one thing that I told him was like, I'm not gonna try to be the new Augusta guy that goes and breaks records. I just want to be able to grow it slowly and not have to struggle while I'm growing to learn the systems and stuff like that. Yep. So I think that kind of impressed Jason as well. It's like one of the things he said at the end of our little dinner was like, I actually think that you'll succeed because you're not trying to be all excited and gung-ho about Augusta and, I'm going to show my candies I'm the best, whatever. So I think part of that is like, I think I'm slightly on Caleb's idea here with it is like, yes, I want to get to that point, but again, I'm going to do what I can, but I'm not going to over maximize myself. So like last year, I took pause on joining Augusta and committing to Augusta. Like, I joined, but I didn't transfer the business over to Augusta because I was tapped out personally. So like, I was not willing to break everything, like you're saying, to do that. And I think part of that problem is unrealistic expectations of new people in the game. Like, one of the expectations that I harped on you about was labor, because you're like, I'm going to do $500,000 next year. And I was like, labor's going to be your constraint. And you're like, no, it's not going to be a problem.
And then it became a problem.
It became a big problem.
And then I pulled my hair all season long, and it was absolutely horrible. So it's crazy. Where does that? Did you have to teach yourself that, or were you just always like, I put myself first?
No, I've always wanted to do the most, but I will say that, dude, I think the biggest thing for me right now is being in a super healthy relationship. Changes everything about the way you perceive life. And
I haven't had one of those yet.
It's tough, bro. I've been through a decent amount of relationships that are super painful. And when you go through those periods, I'm sure you're feeling this right now. All you want to do is just grind.
Yeah.
You're just like, dude, screw everything. I'm locked in. All I want to do is see, the next biggest number in my bank account, or whatever that goal is that you're chasing. And that was me for the longest time. And there's parts of that are good. I think every kid should go through that as they kind of make their way up into the world, is have those rocky cutscenes. But I will say I've reached a point in my life that I'm realizing that I just want to enjoy life, every aspect of it, whether it be the good or the bad. And up to this point, I've just hated the bad. And now I realize that like the bad is great, because without the bad, there is no good. And there's going to be times that suck in business, regardless of however hard you push yourself. And I wake up and go so much harder when I give myself grace and speak kindly to myself and have a good mental space to work from. I don't feel like it is commonplace these days for men to really put their mental health first. And when you start doing that and realizing that your mental health is who you are as a person, not just the voice inside your head, it literally controls every direction and every decision you make. It has a massive impact on your life and your outlook, the amount of money that ends up in your bank account. It's huge. And when you do that with a partner that also understands that and has that maturity to be able to accept the fact that what you're working hard towards benefits the both of us, regardless of the good or the bad. I don't know if you guys follow the Hermosis.
Yeah.
Layla Hermosi just came out with a new product line that says, fuck your mood, stick with the plan. And I think that's beautiful, because there's nothing better than to just stick with the plan, regardless of how you feel about it. And when you take emotion out of it and you just do the doing without the emotion, it frees you up to just make the right decision. So no, I haven't always been that way, but I think when you try to eliminate emotion as much as you possibly can and just do the doing, you have a much more positive outlook on life. And I don't know of anything else that I want more than to just be happy. If I'm not happy doing it, then why? Like, what's the point? What are we doing?
Hey, real quick, if you're still watching or listening, congratulations. You don't have the attention span of a goldfish. And it also seems like you like what you're listening or watching. So why not subscribe, leave a comment, like, or if you're in a podcast platform, leave us a review. It helps us out more than you think. All right, let's get back into it.
Jesus. That's something me and you both have discussed.
Yeah. Do you listen to Chris Williamson?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because you're sounding like him a lot.
I don't know that I would have said that about what I just said, but yeah, I guess.
No, it's
the similarity.
Like, there's a couple things that kind of reminded me. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I lost for words, not gonna lie. I think that everything you said is kind of, it's like the thoughts in the back of my head whenever I'm going really hard. Like, yes, like right now, all I want to do is just go hard in the gym, go hard with the podcast, go hard in business. And that's what I've been doing for like the past couple months. And yes, it's worked out great. We hit every single goal we wanted to. We're breezing through and it feels great for a couple seconds. And then it's like, fuck, I just remembered how my life is right now. I am not happy. I have the money that I want. I have the goals that I wanted. And I'm just like, yeah, when you go to sleep at night, you're like, it sucks.
So I guess one of the things I would say is like, are you happy because you hit the goal? Or are you happy because of the journey it took to get to the goal? So I feel like if you struggle through the journey and you're not happy with the journey, is the goal really worth it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's definitely an addiction to the journey, right? Like the chase, right? It's really fun and it's really hard at some point. And I like doing hard things. I think it's good. I think it's a good build. It builds your character, builds your persona, builds who you are. It says a lot about who you are as well. But when it comes to emotions, when it comes to like mental health and all that, I always put it on a back burner. And I'm always like, I'll take care of that at some point. Maybe when I'm not so busy, or let me just get to this point and then I'll worry about that stuff. I've never looked at it from a standpoint of like it's weakness, like emotions are weakness and stuff. Like I don't think so at all. I think emotions are very powerful and stuff. But I've also thought like it's okay to feel things. It's not okay to react or do things based off your emotions. So that's kind of where I've struggled in, because I'm not an angry person. I don't like blow up on people or whatever. But when I get sad, I get really sad. And when I'm really down, I'm really, really down. Right? So it's like the extremes of it, right? Something that I'm trying to figure out.
I'd like you to weigh on this, but I think that's part of him pushing it off for so long. Because then when it finally bubbles up, it's just a boiling pot of water. It's not like he's ignoring it and then it comes to a head and it overflows.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I think anything that you let build up over a long period of time is going to have some sort of major effect on your life. But when you have a major changing point in your life, regardless of what it is, you're going to be emotional about it. Like it kind of just is what it is. And for me, I don't know. I would say that I sometimes do avoid emotions, but I think all men do to some extent.
Yeah.
We're slightly less openly emotional beings than women are. And I don't think that there's a right or a wrong. But I do think that the problem is when you start to see it affect other aspects of your life that you're not happy with it affecting. It's not a matter of like, oh, well, now my emotion is affecting my work. It's like, okay, well, is that a bad thing to you? Do you not like that it's affecting your work? If you don't, then maybe you should focus on dealing with the emotion, doing something with it, whether it's going to talk to a counselor or a therapist, or going to the gym more often if you feel that makes an impact on your mental health or well-being. I think it's just a matter of determining for yourself, is this good or bad for me?
Right.
Does this negatively affect things in my life? And if it does, then that's when you should show it attention. Because I have had struggle in the past of knowing like, okay, when do I deal with this emotion? Like I have this negative like hurt in my heart. When do I deal with it? And is it okay to just leave it alone? Because I've been told in my life that I have no empathy or compassion, and I'm just
oh my gosh,
this robot. And I'm like, I don't necessarily feel like I am. I just have different goals than you do. And you giving me advice is interesting because I wouldn't want your life anyways. So I don't know that I want to take that advice, Right. And that's when I have to look at myself and say, all right, this isn't negatively impacting any part of my life to a point that I'm unhappy with. And until it does, we're going to leave it alone. It's fine. It's fine right where it is. And sometimes that gives me motivation.
Yeah.
It's like that negative hurt makes me wake up and grind harder. And I kind of like that. So
makes sense.
If you channel it in that aspect or in that direction in that way, it's like, okay, is it really a negative? Because you can use hurt. There's so many people that we listen to on a regular basis that have major, terrible stories that, massive, terrible stories that they could share with us, but they used it in a positive way to positively impact their lives. So,
Yeah, it's a good point. There's a lot of people that do that. I think one of the biggest things is like, what is that called? Post-relationship body. Like the girls go through a bad relationship and they get all fit and crazy.
And it happens to guys all the time. It happened to me. I know for a fact the last serious relationship that took a horrible toll when it broke off. I went from a very skinny person to somewhat fit, and I got my stuff together mentally, and then all of this like revenge, whatever you want to call it, right? And I think, as a guy, I think there's a couple of those moments in your life where you choose either, hey, I'm going to absolutely let this drain me and control me, and I'm going to blame the person, and I'm going to blame the fact that this happened, and I'm going to ruin my life. Or, you can, like you said, let it fuel you. Let it be the reason why or one of the reasons why you choose to do great things or you choose to do something good for yourself. So I definitely resonate with that. But you said earlier that right now you're in a healthy relationship and it's amazing for you. And it's one of the main reasons why you're, slow down and maybe take a second look at the flowers on the street, appreciate the flowers on the street, maybe appreciate the sun, all this and all that. How come? So one of the things that I struggle with is appreciating the little things, right? The little things in life, right? Appreciating a good conversation. I appreciate good conversations. Never mind. But like just appreciating small stuff, like things that you take for granted, right? How can our relationship make you think twice and like let you slow down?
I don't think it's the relationship. I think it is giving yourself time to heal to the point that you are okay being yourself and okay existing exactly who you are and realizing that you are who you're supposed to be right now in this space of time.
Which is
and being okay with that.
Struggle with. Which
we all struggle with it.
Yeah.
There's days that I wake up and I'm like, dude, I am disgusting. I suck as a human being, And then there's other days that I wake up and I love everything. Like everything is just awesome. This existence is incredible. You're never going to have both at once. Yeah. Obviously, you're going to have ups and you're going to have downs. Just like you were saying earlier, that your lows are pretty low. But there's lots of people that talk about, higher lows and lower highs, just making it a little bit more even. But back to your point, back to your question, I don't think it's about a relationship. I don't think a relationship is what fixes that or what gives you that positive outlook on life. It's not. I didn't try and get back in a relationship. The relationship that I'm in happened kind of in a really strange, very natural way. And I was always the guy that was on Tinder or on these dating apps trying to find the one. I mean, Alex Hermosi found Layla on Bumble. So that's what I was looking for, A
little Layla.
Exactly. And that's not how it happened for me. And I don't think anybody is supposed to follow a blueprint of how to find the perfect wife or the perfect husband, I think that the biggest thing, the most important thing, and the thing that I was missing out on all along is the fact that Layla and Alex were both daily trying to be better people. That's what their focus was. They were just doing what they felt like was the best outreach to find their person, which was online. And they would do that for a certain amount of time during each day. They would devote a certain amount of time to it. I think it was like on their lunch breaks or whatever. And it happened to be the same for both of them. They would devote that portion of time every single day to looking for their person. But the main point was the fact that they were trying to be better people. And until you are very okay with being alone and being single, I never found it to work for me just going and looking. It never worked because I was always it always came from a place of I was trying to fill an emptiness and I was looking for like, how do I slow down and appreciate? It's like, you don't need to right now. You don't need to. If you're feeling that urge, don't do that. Just stay in the grind and be okay with being you. Like be 100% you every day. Just focus on you. And until you wake up and you're like, bro, I'm stoked with who I am as a person. Like this guy's awesome, and until you feel that, how are you going to love somebody else if you can't fully love yourself? Every single aspect of who you are. It's impossible to. It's like, I don't have love in my heart for myself. How am I supposed to find some love? Where does it exist? Where does it come from? And give it to you. If I don't have a Coke, how am I supposed to give you a Coke? I can't. I don't have one yet. I have to find my own Coke. And then I can share the soda with you. And that's the way love is. If you don't love yourself, if you don't have love in your heart, it's very hard to share it with somebody else, genuinely. It can be a facade. I think that there's lots of relationships that have love, but it's not the love that loves on the hard days and the times that it doesn't feel easy.
I think
what's your definition of love?
It's just sacrifice.
Sacrifice?
Yeah. It's just sacrifice. if I and in it's an ongoing thing, obviously, but I think my goal in life right now is just to make Savannah's life as easy as possible, and her goal is to make my life as easy as possible. And it's a competition of like, okay, how easy can I make your life? And hers is, the same, and that's just sacrifice. It's just human sacrifice. It's let me take some time today to devote 100% of my attention to you, whether that be in person or whether that be making your dinner or me going out of my way to make sure that she's fully taken care of. Is there anything that I can possibly do for you today? That is just me sacrificing myself to you. And it's an ongoing thing, but I think that is the true definition of love, in my opinion.
I like that answer.
I love that answer. I always thought I have the same definition, sacrifice. I thought of it completely different. I think that are you Christian? Or?
Yes, I definitely believe in God, and I think that there's a higher creator. I don't know exactly where I'm at in my journey, but I would identify myself as that.
Okay, yeah. So I like to use Jesus' sacrifice as like the definition of love, because like you have this person that did all of this throughout his whole life, right? Devoted himself to other people, put other people first, blah 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 blah, and then he did the absolute craziest thing in the world, which is like die for everybody. Throughout the whole thing, through the torture, through the pain, through the cries, through the lack of any kind of love towards him, he was just like, no, I choose to love you even more. So that would be my definition of sacrifice. But I like what you said. I like how it's every single day striving to make each other's life easier, however that looks like, right? Like if you need a hug, I'll give you a hug. If you need me to cook dinner because you're tired from work, I'll cook you dinner, right? From both sides, right? Not just from her side, but also from your side. It's kind of like we were talking about earlier with Parker, right? As in like, we were talking about Caitlin. We were talking about something about Caitlin. Of like...
Compromise.
Yeah, like not necessarily compromising, right? But that's one of the things. It's just saying like communication, right? It takes communication. It takes trust. It takes her wanting to depend on you, like we said earlier, or like you choosing to... ignore not necessarily ignore, but put her first of how you're feeling, right? Because you want to do good by her.
Yeah, I think along that same line of thought, there is sacrifice, but it's more like, I don't feel like it's sacrifice because the only time that you give is when that person's battery, if you want to call it that person's emotional battery or physical battery is lower than yours. Mm-hmm. Like if I come home and I'm at 50%, but she's at 20%, we're gonna be equal by the time we go to bed. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do whatever I can to bring her up at least to my level. Mm. And she does the same for me. Just like this morning, for example, we were in a bit of a rush, but I knew she wasn't feeling the greatest. And so I went and made breakfast and had breakfast for her. And she didn't even eat much of it, which is fine by me because it's my job as the man to provide for her when I know that there is anything that I can do to help. And I don't feel like that's it doesn't feel like sacrifice. Shouldn't feel like I'm having to, it's like, oh, I got to inconvenience myself to help you.
Yeah.
That's, you have to want to do it.
Oh yeah. I'm thrilled.
Be like dragging yourself through doing it.
Yeah. If that's the emotion you feel, there's a problem. There's a deeper problem than just dealing with the day in and day out right now.
Than making the breakfast.
Right. Right.
How do you also said, in order to be able to love someone, you got to love yourself, right? Every single part of yourself. How do you achieve that from your personal journey?
I think
it comes back to just to being 100% okay with who you are as a person. Like if you're not okay with it, I feel like you should see what you need to change. Like in my personal opinion, I think something I want to bring up a couple minutes ago is like, I hear you guys talking about that portion of it. I truly believe that as a person, I grew up knowing who I am as a person. Like I never really had doubt in who I was. I was always very committed to that. I think that's what kind of established me into finding a relationship earlier than most, like high school sweethearts getting married, is because I never had to really like find the love in myself to give that love to somebody. So I was always able to give my love to somebody because I never really questioned who I was as a person or if I was happy with myself. I was just
I knew I was a good person and was fine with that.
Yeah, I guess everybody's going to have a different answer to that,
Yeah.
or a different opinion in that aspect for themselves. I haven't always felt like I was a great person. I knew that I wasn't. There were a lot of times in my past that I was in very toxic relationships where I knew that there was a lot in regards to the relationship that I was causing downfall in, and it was both sides, of course. But it's like, okay, well, just because you're at 75% bad doesn't make it okay for me to be 50% bad. It's like that's not okay.
Bad is bad.
Right, bad is bad regardless of the level. And so I know that there were times in my past that I didn't feel like I was a great person, and those are the times that it makes sense to step back. Even if you're in a relationship, it's like, hey, I need to take 4 hours a week to focus on me, whether that's reading about certain things in your life that you need to improve on, listening to podcasts, just studying, sitting and thinking, letting your brain talk to itself. Just sitting and thinking is huge sometimes. Sometimes you just need to relax and think, because all we do is scroll, or we work, or we're having conversation. Like, your brain is hardly ever just sitting still and just doing brain things, which is called thinking.
Yes.
And I think more people need to just sit and think. And that helps in a lot of ways. It helps you understand who you are as a person and where you need to improve on. And just like you were saying, Parker, if you've never really felt like you've been in a position to find yourself, you've always kind of known who you are as a person. And so, I experience things a lot differently than you would in that sense. I knew that there were a lot of things that I needed to improve in.
Like, don't get me wrong, I did some shitty things. But I was never. It's hard to explain, but like, I was never like depressed. Like, I was never had anything like that. It was just like, yeah, I fucked up. I did something shitty and I learned from it. But I was never really like, oh, I don't know who I am anymore.
Yeah. No, I have.
I have too.
I've looked in the mirror and I was like, I don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't recognize this guy. Like, this isn't who I grew up with. This is not the guy that I woke up as for the last 20 years. This isn't him. I don't know who this is, and this is weird, and I don't like it anymore. It's time for change.
Damn, I feel like I'm talking to myself. It's kind of crazy. Jesus, it's.
But see, that's the thing. If you are okay with it and you're comfortable with it, then you'll realize, okay, this is weird and I don't like this and I need change. And that's when you're like, okay, we're going to go focus on me for a while. And then you get really good at being you. And you don't feel weird when you have those conversations in your head and you're talking to yourself.
I think a lot of the problem with my boy Ricardo here, not to be harping on you, but
Oh, God.
we've all told you that you need to just give yourself some time and heal. But every time you refuse to do it, you don't listen to us.
It's not really that I refuse to do it. It's more of like, I don't think I need to until like shit hits the fan. And even when shit hits the fan and I do decide to change, I do it like, not necessarily change, but like figure out my shit and like, like I said, sit still with my emotions, sit still with the way I think, sit still with myself. I do it and I've done it. But it feels like there's a constant little voice in the back of my head that's like, do more. Like, you need to do more. You need to keep grinding. You need to keep doing this. Like, yes, this is important, but like, remember the mission. Remember why you're doing this, right? Like, I'm not in business for myself, right? I'm not in business because I just want to make a lot of money, spend it on cars, spend it on women, spend it on whatever it is, right? I'm doing it because I want to be able to give my future family and my future kids the life that I didn't have, right? I want to, be able to teach them things that, I need resources for. I need to be able to give them the love or the freedom of me being there for them at all times. I don't want to miss their fucking band auditions or whatever it is that they want to be into, their soccer games or their football games. I want to be there for them because they get a chance to experience that. So it's like I said, I will do whatever is necessary. I will sacrifice whatever it is. I will sacrifice myself if I have to in order for my future kids to be able to experience that. And so it's like, whenever I take a second or a period of time to work on myself and figure out, why am I feeling like this? Why do I feel angry when I'm sad? Why do I feel sad when I'm angry? Like these secondary emotions, it's like, okay, buddy, like this is important, but like remember what you're doing this for. Like you can't waste time. There's no wasting time. You need to keep going.
Yeah, but it that takes me back to the Three Little Pigs in this instance. That's what it reminds me of. Is you're trying to build a straw house. You have no foundation. In a family, you are the foundation. And you're trying to skip that portion of making yourself comfortable with who you are and building yourself up with who you want to be, to trying to go ahead and proceed to finding the family and finding the marriage and finding everything like that. But you'll never get to that point if you don't do the foundation first.
It's all very abstract in my mind. It's not. It can be very tangible, and you can feel it, and you can sense it, you can taste it when you're in it. But before you get to that point, it is so abstract. For me, I never knew what I was looking for. I just knew that I was like, I want a stable relationship. I want kids. I want the house. I want the things, and I want the options to be able to do what I want when I want, with whoever I want. I was going to dive into something. Now I'm forgetting it. Take this. If you were to have a wife, the perfect wife, just put herself next to you and say, okay, is Ricardo the exact same thing as perfect wife in every aspect? Mm-hmm. Does Ricardo work just as hard as she does? Is he just as fit as she is? Does he have the patience that she has? Is he as honest as she is? Compare yourself line by line. Go through all of the things of like, okay, this is perfect wife. Is Ricardo every single one of these? If Ricardo is not, that's when Ricardo needs to go to work. And until you are the mirror image of who you want in your life, how are you supposed to have that person? And how's that person supposed to be happy with you if she's doing the same? If she wants a perfect husband, which is obviously what she's going after, if she is that level of human, how are you supposed to satisfy her if you're not already there yet? And that, to me, is hard to like stomach sometimes. I'm like, okay, well, that's like, that's a lot to measure up to. But if that's not where you're at, then it's a waste of your time to go and chase that because it's somewhat unachievable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And she's not going to be looking for you.
And in your most recent relationships, it's exactly how we all thought they would go because it's a reflection of who you are. That's why we keep telling you to pause and take time, because you're out there, you're not looking for your next wife. You're going to match someone that where you are at now and who you are now. And you're finding that person, but that person always turns out to not be who you want.
But that's we all do that. You know, I've done that.
Up over it because we all do it.
I've done that my entire life. And the past 8 months have been entirely different. And that is the only thing that I changed. Like, okay, if I want a perfect wife, this is what she looks like. Can I measure myself to this person? Absolutely not. I suck. So we're going to go back to the workshop and we're going to fix Caleb, because she's not going to change in my mind. I'm not willing to settle for less. And you're obviously not either. Mm-hmm. If you're not in the relationship, that you were in 2 months ago, then obviously something didn't work. And I'm assuming that is because you weren't willing to settle.
And you wanted her to be better.
Yeah, I think that's one of the problems. You fall in love with the possibility, with the potential, with the, if she fixes this, then it would be great. If she does this, it would be amazing. Or like, even vice versa. Like, if I just do this, maybe I'll be exactly what she wants. Or something like that. And it's tough.
Do you think she was fully satisfied with who you were?
Oh, no.
Okay, well then that's where we start. Like, okay, what was she, what did I like about her? What were the things that I liked? We're going to put that on perfect wife paper. Okay. And what she didn't like about you that you also are like, that could improve. It might be something she I'm sure she probably wanted you to do something that you were like, okay, no, that doesn't need to improve. We're not doing any more of that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there is something that you can pinpoint. And you're like, yeah, I could be better in this aspect. And then we're going to put that on your paper. And until those two papers look the same, you will waste your time going and chasing that person. Because she's not going to be looking for you. And even if you find her, it's wrong place, wrong time, you know?
Jesus. Imagine. Oh, that would break my heart.
But you would never know.
Yeah, you would never know.
You never know. It's interesting because, like, for example, like going back to Alex and Layla's example, they both found each other at a weird spot, right? Because Alex kept going broke, he kept failing, blah, 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 blah. And then Layla was just like doing her thing. Yeah, so it's like you hear stories like that and you see the stories like everywhere, right? Like found each other at rock bottom. We were clearly not the people that we are today, blah, blah, and then we worked through it and then like this and this and that. So it kind of like, in my experience, it creates a hope, which might or might not be realistic.
It is a hope, but I think it's a false reality. Like, because me and Caitlin are not the same person as we were when we first started dating. Like, we grew together, but we still had aspects that we knew we wanted, as like you're saying, on the sheet of perfect wife and perfect husband. We already had starting aspects that we liked, and we were both willing to work on each other or on ourselves to get each other to each other's perfect, sheet of paper. That's why when everyone asks me why did it take you so long to get married, is because we were still growing and we were still building. Like I learned that, hey, like we talked about earlier, is I can live out of a laundry basket and not fold clothes, but she can't stand it. Like those little things are part of the sheet of paper, organization, cleanliness, things like that we had to work together to figure out what she wants as a perfect husband and what I want as a perfect wife.
That makes sense. I think my problem, I guess, hearing both of you guys, is that, for example, you're fine with living out of a laundry basket, and she's fine with just folding it, and you guys come to a compromise. I'm more of like I don't give a shit. Like whatever, like clothes. It's just clothes, right? But it's more
That's
like,
how I am.
but it's more like I am willing to let red flags go by. So like, she lied about this. It's okay. Like, just don't lie again. She lies again. It's like, it's okay. Just stop lying. She hurts me. Stop hurting me. It's okay that you did. Like, I understand. You don't mean it. Stop hurting me though. And I just keep on letting these things happen. These things happen. Don't disrespect me. Don't do this. Don't do that. And I'm just guessing it's my choice of person. But I try to play it off as in like, it's okay. It's gonna change. It's not. It's weird. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, me and Caitlin have hurt each other and lied to each other and done stuff like that. But the thing is, the difference is we were able to work together and figure it out. Like both parties have to be able to work through the problems. Like you're gonna have that in every relationship, but again, it was part of like, she knew that I was fitting the piece of paper that Caleb keeps referencing to being the perfect husband, and she kept on the paper of being the perfect wife. These are just blemishes in between that we have to work out. It's like the qualities don't really change. It's just learning through the process.
Your point of saying that Layla and Alex were not who they are today, but they found each other at a weird spot. Just because you find somebody like, okay, we could use us as an example. I hope that in 10 years we are in a much better place. So just because you find your person and you are not at your peak doesn't mean that that person is not the right one. Have you heard of a Henry, high earner, not rich yet?
Yeah, I think so.
So same thing. They're doing everything that they need to be a high earner. They're just not there yet.
Yeah.
Because they don't have enough reps in. Life has not played itself out enough, but they're doing all of the things. And I think that's the only reason that Layla wanted to stay with Alex when he went broke.
Right.
Because she knew that he was doing the doing. It was just a matter of time before, okay, we figure all of these things out. Like you're still learning. You're still paying down your ignorance debt. But once you do, it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. And that's just the journey. I mean, regardless of whether it's the good or the bad, they understood then, I want to go through this journey with this person, and this person is who I choose because they are doing the doing, and that's what matters. But I think that it can be very difficult to find your person until both parties are doing the doing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, until both they find themselves aligned.
Correct. And I think the biggest part of that, one thing that Savannah says that she really appreciates in me and that she's found herself attracted to in the past is someone who works hard, just a hard worker. And whether that mean you are out actually working a lot or whether you are in a really rocky point in your relationship and you're willing to work hard, it all comes full circle, working hard, because you generally are willing to work hard at all aspects of life or your relationship.
Yeah, it's just little habits of transfer.
Exactly. But it's those key things that you're like, I like this in that person, and I also do the same. But if you are trying to measure yourself to somebody that is not like yourself, just like you say, okay, well, you hurt me, you lied to me, don't do those things again. It's like, whoa. That is something that I'm not doing, and I hold myself to a much higher standard, and you're not. Like, that's the problem, is that you are not willing to hold yourself to a higher standard. Like, I understand we make mistakes, but like, those are like, you're willing to hurt me? Like, whoa. I'm supposed to be your person here, We don't hurt each other. Those are things where you realize, okay, I've obviously attracted somebody who is not on my tier. You deserve better than that. Like you do. I don't know anything about you, frankly. We don't really know each other, but I know that you deserve better than that. Because I know you hold yourself to a higher standard, and until you are willing to accept the fact that you do hold yourself to a higher standard and be okay with living in your skin, it will be hard for you to attract somebody who is also doing the same, because they're not going to be you're looking in the wrong place. Like it sounds weird and it sounds abstract, but once it happens, it'll all click and you'll be like, I get it now.
You're looking for the weed eater in your clothes closet versus the shed.
Versus the shop.
Bro just brought it all the way around. Back to lawn care.
I think that it's interesting, like being comfortable in your own skin, doing this, doing that, like reflecting and changing the things, checking off the list, like you keep saying. It's like all revolves around the same thing of like just loving yourself and fixing what it is that you need to do, and talking about things like this. Like a year ago, I didn't used to talk about things like this because I was like, well, this is kind of weird. It's kind of uncomfortable. It's not normal. I mean, I grew up in a household where I never saw my dad cry, right? I always saw my dad at work. Like work. Never, to this day, I've maybe seen him cry like once or twice.
Same.
Right? My mom was always there. She was always like, talk to me. Like, she's tried her best, but I mean, like, Mom, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. And it took me 18 years to ever tell my mom that, Mom, I'm not happy, or like, Mom, that I'm sad, right? Like to my mother, like, right? Like one person in the world that would like die for me, for sure, 100%. And even then, it was still weird because you're just not used to it. And one thing, yeah.
I was just going to say, I think that's one thing that Parker and I both can, you might say you've never seen your dad cry, but I know for me, like, I tell my mom all the time, Mom, I don't like life right now. I'm not happy.
Yeah.
For you, that's just is vastly different, like give yourself some grace for that. That's not normal for you, but realize that it is also not normal to not communicate that you're not happy,
I do it from I do it from a place of not wanting to inconvenience nobody, and I do it from a place of like I have to be strong because I'm a man and because I have to provide and because I can't seem like I can't do what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean?
But in weakness comes strength. In weakness comes strength. Because when you are weak, you will then become stronger.
Yeah, I think it is good to at least allow yourself the grace to understand that you are weak in that situation. Not necessarily to go talk to a therapist or go rant to mom or dad about it, but I think just to give yourself the grace and say, hey, I'm not where I need to be in this situation. I can improve here. And then take it back to the drawing board and say, all right, how do we improve this? I was short with this customer. Well, I was short with the customer because I didn't sleep good last night. Why am I not sleeping good? Okay, it was actually the fact that I didn't go to the gym. That's what it was. I missed the gym this morning. Like, okay, well then we tighten that up. And also another thing, if you don't want to inconvenience somebody, chances are probably don't have enough or the quality of people around you that you can inconvenience. Like, I can promise you, if you call me up or you call Parker up and you vent to us, we're not going to be inconvenienced by that.
No.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't feel like you're going to inconvenience anybody that you trust. I would never feel like I'm going to inconvenience Savannah by going to her and saying, hey, babe, my day sucked. It sucked. Today was terrible. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah, and it's been that way with every romantic partner, long-term or short-term.
Yeah.
Like, I would always carry the burden of, like, whatever's wrong with them. Be like, yeah, I'm here for you. Talk to me absolutely whenever. Like, just call me. I'll make some time for you. We'll talk and we'll figure things out, right? But when it came to me, I would always be like, I'm good. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm fine. I'll figure it out. It's okay.
Do you think it was your decisions to not talk, or was it, did they often shut you down?
Like when you would
Yeah.
when you would open up, they would be like, "Oh, wow, that's whatever." Like they wouldn't give care into it.
No, I've had partners like that, but the majority, no. It wasn't them shutting me down. It was
So it was
me.
really the idea in your mind that whenever I share this, it is not going to have any substance or weight the way I feel it. Number one. And two, I don't want them to see me in a different light or as a weak person when I share this.
Yeah, more like that. I don't want them to seem like I don't have everything under control, which whether I do or whether I don't, it's up to question, right? But it's more like every romantic partner that I have has told me, like, you're a great guy. I admire you, your work ethic, this and this and that. Like that stuff means a lot to me. It means a lot to me because again, growing up, I never had anybody tell me that, right? Like, I'm proud of you, this and this and that. And like, especially the long-term partners that I've had, well, really just one, but like always like really proud of you. You're working hard, this and this. And so it's like, I don't want to ruin that. I don't want to say something and be like, oh, I thought you were this and this and that. Like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm never said she said that.
That's
but
the difference, though. I think you're about to kind of say the same thing. Is they see you as that already. They know that is a trait.
Yeah.
And then when you are weak, it doesn't change how they see you. It's a drop in the bucket.
Well,
And then,
it's not necessarily a drop in the bucket. How are you a hard worker if everything's easy? They know life's hard. Like, if they're willing to compliment you and say, you're a really hard worker, what do they think you do? Go and sit in the truck and scroll TikTok all day? No, they don't think that. They know you're dealing with hard things. That's why they compliment you as being a hard worker. So it would be ludicrous for them to also believe that you're not ever going to come to them with a hard story and say, look, I'm going through this really hard thing right now. I need you to support me a little bit. It would be crazy for them to assume that that's never going to happen. And if that's what they think, then they ain't the one. You're going to compliment me as being a hard worker, but you're not willing to put up with the hard that I bring home sometimes.
yeah,
This ain't going to work.
it's very complex because like
that's
I can
what a relationship is. It's very
I can
complex.
I can say that and I can think that, but then it's like I don't want to say that I get attached really easily.
You do.
But I do. I just don't want to admit it. Whatever. But it's like I don't want anything to happen that could potentially jeopardize it from my end. You know what I mean? And like in saying things like I have a hard time accepting things that are negative towards me or relationships. So in like shut the fuck. So in like saying like and like saying like, oh yeah, she's not like if she thinks that, then she's not the one, or if she thinks this or that or says this and then that, she's not the one. When I've already invested so much of like my time, my love, my money, all of this energy, it's almost like I feel like I failed. When
that is true.
That is true. It just feels like I failed. It feels like I did not try. I could have done better. It feels like I could have tried harder. It feels like I could have like done more. And that's why I kind of stay in those things for as long as possible, unless like there's just no other way.
Because you were trying to make it work. Mm-hmm. You were trying to make sure that you couldn't blame yourself for it not working out.
Yep.
You were investing into a failing business is what you were doing.
I'm bleeding. Yeah.
But the problem is you don't know that it's a failing business until you give it everything you got.
Exactly. And I feel like I have so much to give. Like
that's the wisdom of like knowing, okay, hey, this business is failing. This relationship is failing. This is not working, and knowing when to call it quits. But I think go ahead.
That's the number one thing that I hear from Ricardo when he goes through these kinds of things is, I've invested so much time. I've invested so much this, so much that. And I'm like, yeah, but you're investing it poorly. Like now is the time that you, instead of investing more, is now the time to invest into something else. And I think he gets caught up in the idea of like, well, I've been investing so much time and waste into them. Why don't I just give it 10% more, and then 10% more, and then 10% more?
Well, it's very difficult for somebody on the sidelines for you personally, somebody on the sidelines to be able to tell you, hey, this is not worth it. You're like, yeah, but you don't know all the things.
Yeah.
You have no idea what all this, you don't know the weight of the situation. You don't know what I'm dealing with right now. Like it's it again is abstract to some extent. Even if you explain to Parker, you explain to somebody else, hey, this is what I'm going through. Do you think it's worth it to continue? And they're like, bro, hang it up. It ain't worth it. You're like, but okay, but let me give you. But you gotta hear this part. You gotta hear this part of it.
You gotta agree with me in this. I've never done that to you. No. I've always made you do your own consideration. I said, look, I understand that I don't get to see the good in a relationship. You only call me when it's bad. So I'll walk them through it and I'll be like, look, is it you're happy 5 days a week out of 7, or are you happy 2 days a week out of 7?
Okay, but do you feel yourself chasing the happiness in a relationship? You're like, okay, am I happy or am I unhappy? Is that kind of like the lever of whether to stay in it or to invest more time or to get out of it? It's like, is it happiness or is it like, for me, I got this from Alex Ramosi. I'll be frank, but it's a good one. Do my stats increase? Again, this is, I don't know if you journal. I try and keep a journal as much as I can. Just kind of give like a summary of my day, what was good, what was bad, and kind of very briefly plan out the next day. And a lot of times I'll talk about my stats. It's like, okay, what's excelling right now? And I find that in my current relationship, all my stats are up, every one of them. And that is my determiner for whether the relationship is worth it. It's not a matter of, did I feel happy about it today? Because I can promise you, bro, there will be days you are not happy about it.
Yeah.
Bro, this sucks. Yeah. You're mad at me. I'm mad at you. This is not fun. But are my stats up? I still went to the gym. I still busted my butt today. I, communicated well with all of my clients. I did all of the things. I did the doing. And that shows me that deep down inside, I feel like it is still worth my investment to do life with this person, because I chose this person and she's doing the same. It's not that when she was down and depressed, she stayed in bed all day. No, she got up and she did the doing as well. And when your stats are up together, especially when they're up together, you're like, okay, this is making sense. It's not a matter of, am I happy today or am I not happy? Which I don't think that was your entire thought process. It's just to chase the happiness, because you obviously know that not every moment's happy.
It's not always going to be happy. It's not like I asked them, like, are you happy 7 days a week or 0? Like,
right.
I know there's going to be unhappy days.
Yeah.
It's just more or less of like, do you value in a relationship being happier than you are being upset. It's
Yeah.
like if you guys are fighting 6 days a week and you're only happy for one, but you're like, oh, those good. But this is the number one thing I always hear is like, when we're good, we're really good.
Yeah.
But when we're bad, we're really bad. I'm like, well,
yeah.
is it more really, really good or is it more really, really bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the bad times are what tells me if it's worth it or not.
Yeah.
It's not the good times. Like when obviously when you're vibing with your person, yeah, bro, it's great. Of course, it doesn't matter really who it is.
Yeah.
Like you can find a lot of people to be really happy with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big ocean. There's a lot of people that can make you really happy.
I think I can agree with you on that. Is like the bad shows if it's worth it or not. Because like number one thing I told you when me and Caitlin first started dating, our first big blowout fight, she called me every name in the book, asshole, douchebag, all that stuff. And I said the next day, I said, look, when we fight, we do not call each other names. It doesn't help. To this day, I don't remember what we fought about, but I remember what she called me. And from then on out, we don't do that. We fight and we argue and we talk about the issue versus trying to hurt each other. So if you have someone that just constantly tries to hurt you in every single fight, come on. What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we here for? And I think another thing to look at during those times is, are our stats still up? It's like, are we still doing everything that we know as humans to do better each and every day? And if the answer's no, then there's a major problem. And it might not be that it's not the person, but the relationship needs work.
Yes.
You know, like that's when you know, okay, this needs attention. And that goes with any aspect of life. When a stat's down, you give it attention. You know, just like in a business. You know, if you're not hitting the goal, like where are we at with this? What do we need to do to improve it? And same goes for a relationship. Yeah.
Damn, dude, it feels like I'm in a therapy session right now.
I think we should close the business or the relationship aspect out of it. And let's.
Well, we can pivot right over into business. It's all the same.
Well, I mean,
thing.
I don't mind it because I love this stuff, right? It's kind of like when I'm dipping. Well, I've been dipping into this for a while now. It's good to have a refreshment and kind of like good to see that it's not bad to experience things like this, right?
Yeah.
It's normal.
It's good, bro. It's good because it helps you know what you need to improve on next time. And what are you going to be single the rest of your life?
No.
Okay. Then this is one less relationship you got to get through to get to the right one. You know, this is great, dude. You're making progress. You're well on your way to the right one. You know?
Yeah.
And you gotta figure out, okay, what did we go wrong with this one? Like, where did we go wrong? What did I do bad? What did she do that I didn't like?
And just keep it in the back of your head.
Yeah. Or write it down. Get it on paper. Get it out.
How has journaling helped you?
Wait, say it again.
How has journaling helped you? You say you do.
Well, scientifically, if you write things down more, like same in business, if you're trying to sell a client, you got more points of contact, right? You see the trucks, you see the uniforms, you see the advertisements, you see the direct mail, you see the door hangers. The more times you hit a client or a potential client, the more likely they are to purchase. The more times you see something, the more crystallized and more tangible it is. Just like if you have a goal, like look at it every morning, write it down, see it. Writing things helps really, it drives it into your brain, into your psyche, and you become that. And so like for me, if I'm journaling about something that I really need to improve on, if I don't journal about it, if I just think about it as I'm going off to sleep, bro, listen, I got way too many things. Yeah, it's gone, dude. It's off with the other 55 things that I forgot about yesterday that I was supposed to get done. You know, it's gone. But if I write it down and I'm like, hey, I'm realizing that my emotional state cannot carry over onto somebody else. I realize that is my duty as a male to make sure that my emotional state is my job. It's my duty to deal with that. I cannot let my negative, conversation that I had with somebody yesterday affect my girl when I go home. It's not her problem to deal with. That's on me. Now, if I want to discuss it with her, I can, but I can't let the negative emotion cause me to have a bad night with her. And that's something I'll journal about. I'll write it down. And then it's like, okay, I remember that. I remember that the next day.
I kind of see that, like, just to bring something funny into that, is like caveman experience for you is like, do not bring home bad conversation. Wife get mad. Wife throw pan at me. I don't like. Like I could just see his like.
Absolutely, bro.
He's journaling after like my head hurts.
Yeah. Scratch it on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go in depth with it. Like I'll fill out a few pages if it makes sense to. If it's something I'm really trying to like, I don't know about y'all, but I've had like I have a somewhat. I feel like I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like for myself I have an addictive personality. So I used to smoke weed all the time. I used to vape all the time, and those were two things that I was like, bro, I cannot stop this. You know, like it's terrible, bro. And it's the only thing I think about. Like when I'm at work and I'm not smoking weed, all I want to do is get home and smoke weed. You know, that's all I would ever think about. But dude, the only thing that helped me prevent that was changing my environment, moving, getting myself out of the space, and then journaling. If I write that on a piece of paper and I say, I am done, this is the last time, that's it. Period. And then I see that when I open my journal up the next night. Bro, it's happening. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna fail myself. Mama didn't raise a quitter. I'm doing that. You know, it has to happen. And so it's just my way of.
I can't tell if I have an addictive personality or not.
You do. You do.
Do I?
I don't even have to say nothing. Yes, you do. But
Give an example.
Don't try. Don't find out.
yeah, don't find.
No,
don't
no,
find
no,
we
I
can-
definitely,
bad.
I definitely don't to drugs because I've never.
That's good.
Never done weed. Never done anything like that. Just because
Yeah.
I didn't see the value in it.
Do you drink? You ever drink?
I drink, but I drink very rarely.
Okay.
Yeah, but what is the one thing that you can't leave? You literally told me yourself.
Caitlin? Oh, I could stop it.
You can't. You can't stop it. I don't believe you.
Zenin, bro?
Yes.
It's pretty nice, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Try it.
No, it's yeah. I don't know.
Again, though, the only reason, you know why I wanted to stop smoking weed? Because I was lazy all the time. It
does
negatively
make
impacted my life. If it didn't, and it was fantastic, I would still be smoking weed every day. I'd be high right now. There's not an issue with it if you don't feel like it negatively impacts your life.
Do you think it negatively impacts your life?
No.
There you go.
The reason why is
Don't quit.
because if I run out of them, I'm not stopping work to go to the store and get another one. Like addictive personality would be like, oh, I'm on my last cigarette. I got to go right now to go get another pack of cigarettes. Like for an example, my mother, she smokes cigarettes, and I do not let her smoke in any of my vehicles. And she cries and complains about it to me because I don't let her smoke in my vehicles. She's like, well, I rolled the windows down. I'm like, I don't care. It still smells like cigarette smoke for days after. And da-da-da-da. Like, that is an addictive trait. Like, if someone's like, I don't want you to zen in my house, it'd be like, all right, cool.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, and it's all personal. Like if you feel like it negatively impacts your life, that's when it's time to change.
Yeah.
And if it negatively impacts somebody else's life, then you got to make the decision, is it worth me changing or is it worth me cutting that person off? It's like work. Some people hate the amount that all three of us work. Some people can't stand it. Drives them nuts. They're like, what do you mean you can't come out tonight? You have to work. You work every day, dude.
Yeah.
You can work tomorrow too.
You're the boss. You own the company.
Yeah, you own the company, bro. Just yeah, exactly. But if that negatively impacts that person, and you don't like that, then either stop working, not really an option, or
Tell them to suck it up. That's what I did.
or cut them off.
Yeah, you can always do that.
Sometimes you got to do that too. Been there, done that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would say that I have a addictive personality to anything particular. Like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything really.
Yours is an emotional.
I do
addiction.
have emotional attachments, right? Like
Do you think it needs to change?
I don't want it to,
Why not?
because I
That
don't want.
wasn't really the question.
No, because like what I'm talking about is like whenever I invest myself into something or anybody, and I choose to like go at it 100%, like it's so hard for me to stop. Like,
Yeah, but I don't think that's necessarily an issue with you have emotional attachments. Like that's you just in love with a person. You know? That's all it is. I'm the same way. I'm heavily invested in my relationship. So is Parker. That's not a problem for us. we just found somebody that we wanted to spend life with. You haven't found that person yet, and that's okay, bro. That's okay.
It has to be okay to step away. Like you personally, like me and him cannot tell you what that line is, but you need to draw a line in the sand and be like, if it gets to this point, I need a break. And that's not to say like I can never go back to that person and try again. It's you crossed the line. We need this to stop.
Yeah,
And
I think having
change, because me and Caitlin went through a 2-month breakup because I put my foot in the sand. I said, "This is the line you do not cross."
Yeah.
And she crossed it, and we broke up. She improved it. I saw that, realized that I wanted her back, and we got back together. Now we're happily married.
how do you feel like you're super honest with yourself in all aspects?
As in, like, what? What do you mean?
Like for me, if I'm
brutally honest with myself.
I like to think the same thing, but I find myself not always. And that is something that I need to improve on. But for example, like if I'm solo operator right now, for the most part, it's very rare that I'll have an employee come and help me. If I find myself at yard number 12 and I have 15 on the schedule and I'm like, dude, I just want to go home, but I still have 2 hours of daylight. I'm like, I can't be honest with myself and say that I completed my list if I go home.
Okay.
There's another aspect of that. It's like, okay, well, I'm in this relationship that really sucks, and this person's doing a lot of things that I said that I was going to not let happen, but I'm still in it. Are you going to be honest enough with yourself to stick to you and appreciate who you are as a person, respect yourself and the boundary that you set for yourself, but you didn't tell anybody else? You didn't tell her that that was the boundary, obviously, because she's not going to step over it if she wants to be with you. But that's the line that you set. Are you going to be honest enough with yourself to say, we're not going there? This is the line in the sand that Parker's describing. Do you feel like you have the capacity to put your foot down when that line is crossed? Are you honest enough with yourself in that situation?
Well, if I'm honest with myself right now, no.
Okay, then until you have enough that I don't feel like that is necessarily a lack of honesty. I think that is a lack of respect for who you are.
I think personally, as a third person looking in, because we talk quite a bit, is I don't think that you are respecting yourself in a sense to know when you're lying to yourself. So you are willing to lower your standards to keep trying to build. I think part of your problem is you're trying to build the other person to who you want to be as your wife. But that person has to be willing to grow. And a lot of times I think that you will lower your standards to give that time for that person to try to grow, but then they end up not doing it. And you just keep lowering and lowering and lowering until you hit the rock bottom.
Possibly, yes.
I think
How many times do you call me with stuff of people doing stuff that you absolutely would not go for, would not stand up for, and you let it slide? I find out 2-3 weeks later that you guys are perfectly happy and okay, and then you call me another 2 weeks later and she did the exact same thing. You just kept.
I think regardless of that, or regardless of whether you're being honest with yourself, it's like, okay, is this? It's so hard to like put words to when you haven't ever been. If you don't feel like you've ever been in a relationship that is like fully worth your time, obviously, because you haven't had anything that's super, super stable. And bro, Parker could break up tomorrow. I could break up tomorrow. Like, who knows? But I do know that what I feel like is what I want to spend the rest of my life doing. And you have to ask yourself, and this is why I ask about honesty, is if you can't ask yourself in the morning or at night and say, is this person having a positive impact on my life? Are we still going in the direction that I intended for us to go in when I got in a relationship with this person? And if the answer is no, you have to be honest with yourself enough to be like, okay, I can't do this anymore. But you'll get to a point, you'll go through enough relationships where you're like, I'm losing time, bro. I'm not trying to have kids when I'm 40. Like,
Yeah.
this is crunch time now. I don't have enough time to waste another 2 months with you, giving you a shot. And sometimes you just have to get to that point. That's the way it was for me. I'm 26. It's like, yeah, I wanted to be in the relationship that I'm in right now when I was 20. The wrong place, wrong time. I didn't know everything that I know now. And that's why I say this is great, bro. You're learning. It's one less that you got to go through. And it might be the right person, just wrong time. But you don't know that until it is the right time. And that's why I say focus on you.
Because if you had to, it seems like you like lists. You like to write things down. So if you had to give someone a list of maybe bullet points, traits, habits of things that they would have to look into themselves and fix in order to become the perfect husband or a reflection of the perfect partner that they want, what would those be?
I would say the first one would be working hard. Like, how hard do you work? Like, are you genuinely a hard worker, or are you a lazy person? And most of the time you can tell, bro. But it all comes down to honesty. Because when you're in a relationship and it's all, lovey-dovey, you're just seeing each other for the first time and you're figuring everything out and you're going through that love phase, that honeymoon phase, it is very hard to be honest with yourself. But if you can honestly say, hey, and that's why I say look at it from a stats perspective, because when you're going through that first phase of love, it's the stats are super blurry. And people are just making stuff up. Like I'm making all kinds of stuff up because I like this person, and you've been through that. I've been through that. You've probably been through that. And when you look at the stats, is the person super hardworking? Feel like you would want that? Feel like you would want somebody that's going to wake up every single day and give it their best shot. Honesty, you got to be honest, bro. And I want you honest with yourself. Because if you can be honest with yourself, you'll be honest with me. But if you can't be honest with yourself and say, hey, I got a problem here. I got a real problem. And I'm willing to be vulnerable enough to present that to you. I know that person's going to be honest. And then I would say probably the third thing is being able to sacrifice themselves willingly without me having any input. Like, you'll know when I'm having a bad day. I know when you're having a bad day. If I'm willing to go out of my way and sacrifice myself for you, and you're willing to do the same, that says something. It says a lot. Those three things are kind of like, sometimes you can get lost in the weeds of like, oh, dude, with this person, like they parked sideways in their parking space and I hated that. Or this person, you didn't fold your laundry and I just want to live out of the laundry basket. And but if you're hardworking and you're really honest with yourself and got the other one, hardworking, honest with yourself. Jeez.
I think you only said two.
Yeah, you only said two.
I said three.
Said three?
I said three. Hardworking, honest with yourself, and willing to sacrifice yourself.
Willing to sacrifice.
That's my definition of love. If you can do those three things, I feel like you got a pretty solid woman, pretty solid guy, regardless of whether you're gay or whether you're. Whoa,
Man or woman?
yeah, man or woman, yeah.
No problem with the gays here, but
Not trying to get anybody canceled. You can clip that. I think that's the main point. Because we'll always find things that we're like not happy with.
Yeah.
Like Savannah pisses me off. I piss her off all the time.
she pisses me off all the time. I piss her off all the time.
Yeah, bro. I'll get the zoomies and she hates it. She hates it, bro. It's like your energy is way too high at 7:30 in the morning. Calm down. But you got to pick your battles, and there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to fight about in a relationship. But if you can have those three, and there's going to be others on your list that you'll find. It's like, hey, I really want this. Whatever that thing is, I really want that in a relationship. I really want that in my partner.
And some things you'll take from other relationships.
Yeah.
Like you'll date someone and be like, I absolutely hated this, but I absolutely loved this. So if my wife could do the things that I absolutely love and not the things I absolutely hated, that'd be perfect.
Great.
But
That'd
you
be
may
great.
not have known that you loved that about somebody.
Yeah, and you won't. You'll find that as you go through relationships, I actually really appreciate this. It's like, I love that this person does that. That is awesome.
I love when Caitlin makes me dinner. And I like to cook, but when I come home and dinner is made, I'm like, that's why I married you.
Yeah, it's like, golly, I love this person.
For sure.
Yeah. you'll have those moments and you're like, man, this is it, bro. I can deal with the fact that you throw clothes all over the bedroom, bro. Like, house is a wreck. I love this though.
Yeah.
And then that's when all of the hardship is just, whatever. Well, we'll work that out. What are you gonna do? But those three things solid, bro. We're great. But you have to make sure that you also are doing the things that are on the list. If you're not, that person is somewhere else, bro. They're out there looking for the version of you that is doing those things. Because they're doing them. If you're going to the gym all the time, I have a hard time believing that you're going to be looking for the girl that's sitting on the couch eating donuts twice a day. It's not going to happen, But they want you. They're like, I want that guy that's fit. And they're just sitting there stuffing their face.
Yeah.
It ain't going to work out. It's not. So you got to measure yourself to whatever your measuring stick is.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's my take.
I agree with it.
I agree with it. Gosh, man, got a lot of work to do then.
Learned a lot, huh?
It's crazy.
How old are you?
21.
Yeah, bro. You're just getting started. I wanted to be in the relationship that I'm in when I was your age. I was being an idiot when I was your age. You're doing all right.
Yeah.
And that's why I say this is great, because it's opening your eyes to what you don't like and what you do like. And you just gotta you gotta be honest with yourself and not let your standard fall. If you're gonna do that, bro, you're chilling, bro. You're fine, dog. Yeah, give yourself some credit. You should.
Don't ever give up.
Oh yeah, no, giving up's not an option, but yeah.
It's not
No, you're
one
good.
thing.
You're solid, bro.
All right, I'm gonna change this up a little bit.
Yeah,
We'll
what's up?
We'll kind of do a little segment.
We can connect it. What do you think about? Me and Parker earlier we were talking about, as in like more professional relationships when it comes to your employees, maybe a management team, this and that, and how businesses are a reflection of yourself, right? So often there's lots of examples, right? There's lots of examples of great people building great companies, right? Do you think that there's skills that bleed over to other topics, right? Like, for example, when you have a lot of discipline, when you work hard, right? When you work hard in the gym, you're most likely going to work hard at whatever it is that you're doing, right? So do you think that if you, like, on the topic of relationships, if you have a great relationship with a spouse, romantic partner, whatever it is that you have, do you think that transfers over to employees? Like, you'll be a great leader, a great employer, a great boss, a great leadership with your employees? Do you think that necessarily connects?
Yeah, I think it's very similar to asking if a really fantastic person is going to be a fantastic person in this situation or that situation. Like, no, dude, they're just a great person. Like, they're a great human being. And I think that carries over to all aspects of their life. And if you find an aspect of their life, they're like, oh, this person sucks in this situation. Okay, well, they're a good person, They're not a great person because you obviously really screwed up that situation and you didn't learn from it. You've been doing it for 20 years. I think obviously if you're going to have a fantastic relationship, chances are you're going to be really good at your job. Again, that's why I say hardworking. If you're willing to work really hard at your job, chances are you're not going to just, as soon as you have a first hard argument, hang it up. You're hardworking. It's a trait. It's a staple. It's who you are. And those things absolutely, it's life. It's a circle of life. So if you're good at work, you're good at home. You're good with the kids. You're good in public. You're good with the employees. You're a good manager. Yeah, it carries over to every aspect of life. If you're a good person, you're a good person. Mm-hmm. But what I was gonna say is that if you find areas of your life that you suck at, just give it more attention. If you find that you're like, okay, well, I can't seem to figure out this relationship between my employees and also being friends after work. It's like, okay, well then maybe read some books about it. Maybe listen to some podcasts and figure out how I can be a better person for my employees on the job and at home.
Interesting. Yeah, so just constant improvement, constant work.
Yeah. What is
part
the
of being a hard worker?
Exactly.
I think everyone that has a company, starts a company, has the trait of a hard worker that is successful.
Yes, the entrepreneur that is successful is simply a hard worker. Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise they would have stayed where they were. If you're not a super hard worker, then
They're not willing to work hard.
Yeah.
right, you would have just stayed where you're at. Now, there's a ton of people that start.
Paycheck.
Right, exactly. It's stable. It's easy. It's stable. Might not be easy, but it's stable.
It's
It's-
easier.
It's risk averse.
It's risk adverse. Yes. There's less things that you got to worry about. There's more. It's more predictable as well.
Oh yeah,
You can predict
paycheck
your-
coming in every single week. Oh, I love that.
Miss
It's
it.
great. Yeah,
I miss it sometimes, yeah. But then it's like you don't have. There's no thrill. There's no like. It's very monotonous. Like you constantly know like what you're gonna do. I'm gonna step into here. I'm gonna do this for 8 hours. Same thing. Whatever. I'm gonna go home and then I'll do the same routine, as opposed to like, all right, it's 6 a.m. What the fuck is gonna happen today? Something's gonna go wrong.
I think the number one thing that I love about business and like my wife absolutely can't stand is I'll go from like having nothing in the account. I'm broke. And then it'll go to like 20, 30 grand in the account. And I'm like, this is why I do this. Like, I'm like, I love this. And then when I'm broke, I'm like, why don't I go get a job? And I'm like, oh, I love this. It's just a constant like,
It's the vanity of like what a business owner is, and I mean you see now again examples of the real world, like CEOs having like insane billion-dollar, multi-million-dollar packages, and it's like that's great for them now, but like, what about like the first 10 years or like the first 15 years when they didn't see a penny? There's like that. That level of risk and that level of like, holy shit, it finally works. It's so much better and it feels so much better than just like, okay, here's my $2,000 every single 2 weeks paycheck. That there's nothing else I can do about it, right?
Elon Musk was gonna have to decide between SpaceX or Tesla, and he said, "Fuck that! I'm gonna do both." They figured it out.
Exactly. Like that in itself that's fun.
yeah, it's wild, and it is super risky. But I think that is why there are very few successful entrepreneurs, is because everybody likes the way that looks on paper, but nobody actually enjoys the doing of the doing.
Yeah.
The doing the work, the doing of the hard things. And that's when it gets really, really hard, that's when you know, all right, this is where everybody quits. Mm-hmm. This is how to be successful. This is my sign of like, all right, this is where everybody falls off. And this is where I am willing to be better than everybody else because I'm willing to push through it.
I mean, hard
That's when you
things
make
are
money.
hard. Yeah. Hard things are hard for a reason.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've done that every year. Like, man, I could quit right now.
I was going to ask you, Parker, you talked about having the bank account, massive fluctuation in the bank account. Do you, regardless of whether it's structured this way or not, do you pay yourself or do you just draw out of the business account?
Right now, I just draw out of the business account what I need. So I don't really.
I would highly recommend it'll help your mental health. It won't change anything. The money is still the same money, but I would highly recommend having an account that you transfer into every week or every month that is your paycheck. It'll help you be able to budget your personal monthly expenses if that's something that you ever struggle with. But what it really helps me with is understanding that the business account is simply that. It's a business account.
It's a business account. Yeah.
And regardless of whether it's high or whether it's low, my life doesn't change. You know?
I mean, not even that. Just going a little more technical, it also protects you, right? Like you're not piercing the corporate veil in terms of like legal taxes, all that stuff.
You know, typically, like I do have a personal account, and what I'll do is I'll transfer what I'll need out of the business account to the personal account for, you know, whatever payment or whatever I have going on.
Yeah.
Like I don't just swipe the business account all the time.
No, I figured that, but if you can have an account that is separate, I just use Cash App. That's what I enjoy using. I just have, and I'm bad about it too. I'll just transfer, you know, whatever I need into the Cash App account, and then that's what I'll spend. But this next year, I will have a set amount that I transfer in the Cash App account every single month. It'll cover my bills. It'll give me a little bit of spending money. You know, we can go out on a date night, you know, however often we choose. But outside of that, business account is strictly business account. And regardless of whether it goes up or goes down, like, yeah, I'm going to take responsibility for it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't affect the way I live. And that is like a major stress reliever for not only you, but also your spouse or whoever you're in a relationship with, if that's where you're at in life, because that can also be very stressful to them. Because the highs and the lows, they fluctuate with it too. You know, they're like, oh, we're doing fantastic. We got 50 grand in the bank account. We're rich. We do whatever we want. I'm not making dinner tonight. You know,
Yeah.
like, no. Go back to the kitchen. That's your job.
Yeah.
I can't spend any money right now. We're going to need that in the wintertime. It's hard for them to understand that. But if you just get the same amount of money all the time, regardless of whether it's winter or summer, doesn't matter to them.
Yeah,
And it's not going to
lower
matter to
highs
you.
and higher lows.
I've wanted to do that, but there's been times where like I'm not able to take a paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
Parker, let's take some responsibility here. You also do vacations like every other month.
No, I don't.
Yes,
You're
you do.
literally
Yes, you do.
insane.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We had a conversation about this.
I went on a family vacation and then I got married and I had a bachelor party and then a honeymoon. Other than that, I didn't take any vacation.
That's only 4 months. 4 months out of 12. It's like, what is that, a quarter?
And the
That's
one
a third.
was a 3-day trip and the other one was a week.
Okay, I'm just saying.
To be fair, though, if you only pay yourself a certain amount all the time, then you either have enough money or you wouldn't. And that's when it like gets really sticky. Is like, okay, am I strong enough to not take more money out of the business because I want the vacation right now?
Yeah.
Or do I raise my? I think I just thought of this randomly, but if you don't have enough money to go on the vacation and you're not willing to raise your salary more because you know it'll hurt you during the wintertime, you probably shouldn't take the vacation. Something to be considered.
I make goals. Like if I hit this,
Me and
we're
you have
going
different goals.
Going on vacation. So like,
Yeah.
for example, with like Q4 doing Christmas lights, I was like, if we hit 50K in Christmas lights, I don't care what anybody tells me, 2-week vacation.
Yeah.
Anywhere but here. And we like crushed it. We did 65. So I was like, all right, we're good. I'll take like some money and I'll just go.
Yeah. And the likelihood that you would have blown that goal right out of the water if you hadn't have given yourself the permission to do so, go on the 2-week vacation.
Yeah.
You might not be going on the vacation, you know?
Yeah.
Regardless of whether you had the goal or not. So I think it's fantastic. I think giving yourself a little cookie for the good work done, it's great. Whatever it takes to, you know, push you over the edge and motivate you and
I've
do the thing.
incentivized Colton for the
Yeah.
vacation.
Really? What'd you say? What'd you tell
good.
him?
We do 200,000, just me and him next season. I'll do a vacation.
Oh yeah, bro. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, once you incentivize and you do it responsibly and then you set realistic goals, I think that's definitely a way to like bring not just yourself to do it, but like also someone that doesn't necessarily have a hardworking spirit. If you incentivize them correctly, you know, do things like that, I think you can bring out, regardless of who they are, a hardworking person.
He's a hard worker, freaking anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that works out. How has this year treated you? I know you said that, like, you took it easy, you took it nice, whatever, you took your time with it, but how has it treated you?
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's been great. There's obviously been hard times, but I think everybody has a hard life, regardless of where you're at.
Did you learn something big this year? Like you had a big problem and you were like, I'm
yeah.
not doing that next year?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I learned was when it's easy, go really hard. I've always told myself that, but I never really had any context to it because I hadn't ever experienced it the way that I experienced it at the beginning of this year. I should have done way more door hangers. Door hangers were like working super well. I think there was one week that I picked up like 12 clients, which is insane because I only have like 41 right now. So it's literally like
a fourth.
that I picked up in 1 week. It's insane. And I should have just pounded them like crazy, dawn to dusk every single day. Maybe even hired somebody if I could have afforded it, because then that would have filled the schedule up and I could have either had somebody to help me for the entire year and assist me on also the big projects that I like really needed somebody on, but wasn't willing to hire somebody because I was like, well, this payout's going to be pretty great if I don't have to pay out any labor. That was the big thing. And that's what I'm fixing this next season. I'll probably end up hiring somebody for door hangers and then carry them over into mowing season. So
Yeah, I think there's a concept. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's called unteachable lessons. Lessons that doesn't matter who tells you what it is, bro. Like, don't date this girl. Like, don't spend your money on this. Blah blah blah. Like, everybody will tell you up and down, you know, left to right.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. You won't listen to them unless it happens to you.
Yeah.
Like, example, for door hangers. Like, it's like a revolving thing, especially in Augusta. Like, they work, and if they work, you do them twice, 3 times. You do it like in your sleep, whatever it is you need to do.
Yeah.
But like even for me, like last year they worked a little bit, so I didn't really have anything to compare it to. Now this year it worked a lot, and I did the right thing, and I hired and had people doing it all season long. But I didn't go as hard as I probably could have, even with the people there.
Yeah, of
so
course.
it's like fuck, like I had my coach say this, I had multiple people tell me to do this, and I still didn't do it, but unteachable lessons.
You know now.
And now you know.
And you're if you learn, then you'll do different next time.
Yeah, exactly. That's
If
the
it
point.
changes your behavior, then you truly learned. And that is something that I truly learned. I was like, oh, this is what everyone was talking about.
Exactly.
Go hard.
I did the same thing my first year. I dove headfirst into mulch. Did like 20 something $1,000 in mulch and didn't do any advertising for lawn care. And then mulch went out the door in April. And I was like,
Yeesh.
Now what?
I've got $7,000 in revenue.
Yeah.
So, and I worked most of the year solo myself as well.
Yeah, and it's hard because you won't realize it until it's too late to actually do something about it. Because when by the time spring rush is over with, door hangers don't really work that great.
Nope.
Yeah.
This year, when I did door hangers, I got like an 8% return.
Yeah. It's
Which
crazy.
is like unheard of.
I know. It's like covers the door hanger.
It literally covered the door hanger, yeah. So you managed your dad's location in
Yes,
Knoxville
for 2 years.
for 2 years.
2.5, I think it was. Yeah.
2.5. How man, I think my philosophy is that every single business, no matter what industry, service, product, whatever it is that you do, every single company eventually turns into a people management company, right? How has your experience of managing people been like?
I couldn't agree more with that. I think regardless of what business you're in, you are in the people business. Yeah, and that was something. I mean, I was young, younger than I am now, still young, but it's hard to beat yourself up when you look back on it. You're like, oh, well, dude, I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
I wish I would have, but I didn't. And so there's a lot of things that I wish I could have changed, done differently, but I will say that I wouldn't change anything about it because it taught me what I now know. And I think one of the few things that are significant is never become close friends with anybody that you manage to the point that they don't understand that you have authority over them. That's one thing that I still struggle with. I get way too friendly with guys that I work with, and then they're like, oh yeah, this guy's great, I can do whatever. And then you're like, okay, but you can't cuss in front of the customer. Like, let's not do that. You know, like that's a no.
Yeah.
And you should have known that. And I'm disappointed in you, but now I can't say anything about it because I'm your buddy, not your boss. That's a hard line to cross, and it's a really hard one to backpedal because it generally just goes to firing them because they never learn. Or they quit. Yeah, never be too friendly with people that I guess you can be friendly. You just have to make sure that they always understand, like, I am your
mode and friend mode.
Exactly.
Yeah. After hours of operations, like whatever, if you want to go out or whatever, like that's your, we'll deal with it then.
Right.
Right now,
Exactly.
you can't be doing what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. 100%. And then the second thing, the big takeaway is handling problems when you know about them. Like, do not procrastinate if you know there's an issue in any aspect of the business, even if it is something that you're not supposed to be dealing with. If you know it exists, tell the person who is supposed to be dealing with it, and make sure that it gets taken care of. Like, if you know about it and it's not your responsibility, make sure that the person knows and it gets taken care of. That is one of the biggest things that I would stress to a potential manager or somebody who is in management is go above and beyond to problem solve. If you know there is a problem, solve it. And if that is out of your pay plan, do it anyways. That's what a good manager does. Make sure it gets done, even if it's not their job. And there were so many things that I let just kind of carry on with employees that I knew needed dealing with. It's like, okay, this person is smoking in the trucks when I know they're not supposed to be. And then I would just let it kind of go on and on and on and on. And then I would get yelled at, and then I would blow up in front of the team. It's like, well, dude, I know that you've known about the fact that I've been smoking in the trucks and you had never dealt with it. So is it like, is it really my fault or is it your fault as a manager for not dealing with it when you knew about it?
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else. Those are the main two. Let's see. I was a young manager, bro. I was a really young manager. And so there were a lot of guys. I think I was there might have been 2 guys that I employed that were younger than me, which were really young to be in lawn care. Colton would have been younger than me. But other than that, dude, I was like the youngest guy on the team. And to be managing guys that were in their 40s or 50s at times was strange and really hard to have authority over somebody like that, especially when they know that your dad is the owner of the company, because it feels very like, you know.
Yeah, it was given to you or whatever.
So that's hard to deal with. But my best advice for anybody that is in management that is young is, well, actually, the biggest issue was the fact that my dad was also my boss, and all the employees knew that. So I always addressed my dad as Mr. Jason, and he would address me as Caleb, our manager Caleb, when we were working together, because if it was ever father-son, then everybody was like, oh, this kid, you know, this is Jason's son. And then they would address me that way. It's like, I talked to your dad. It's like, no, you talked to Jason. You didn't talk to my dad. Oh, it was after hours. Yeah, you did. You talked to my dad. You know, but if we're on a clock, you talk to Jason.
Yeah.
If you were on the clock, you talk to Caleb. You didn't talk to Jason's son. So like having structure in that manner is crucial, because otherwise you just, yeah.
I think that's why you kind of connect very well.
Oh yeah.
My dad has a business.
Absolutely, bro.
And trying to manage them is like impossible.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think that
that's why I never took over his business. Because I was like,
brutal.
there's no way that I would ever be able to. I wouldn't be respected by new employees. Like the originals that I basically grew up with and worked next to since I was very little, they respect me because they know I can work. Now, if I hire someone, they're like, oh, that's your dad and you're the son. He worked hard, gave it to you, now you just manage it. You got a cushy life. But they didn't see me doing flooring since I was 5 years old.
I think the only way you can get out of that is to lead by example.
Yep.
Yeah. But when you get past that point where you're not in the field, there's no leading really by example.
Yes.
You can still lead by example.
Yeah, I think it's as like for us, we'll see clips of like Mike when you know that he doesn't have to be push mowing lawns, you know, and he grabs the push mower. Even if you want to say, oh, well, he's just doing that because they were filming that day and they needed somebody to push mow the lawn. Regardless, he doesn't have to.
Yeah,
he made the decision to go and do that, and it helped somebody out. And one of the employees was like, bro, I saw Mike Andes cut the lawn today. They pushed my lawnmower, you know, and they're teasing about it. That makes a massive impact on that employee. And I think that's cool. And that's awesome. And that is a way of leading by example that anybody can do as a manager. And there's a million different ways to, you know, be respected. But it is very challenging when you are in a family business and you have authority over employees that understand that aspect of it. Yeah,
I think so too. It's something to work through, I guess. It's just like trial and error, what works and what doesn't.
And everybody has a hard life. Everybody has a hard work life. You know, you just pick your level of hard and roll with it. There's always learning. Everybody can improve.
The number one thing is that your worst day might not be someone's worst day. It might be their best day.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah,
but,
so you can't bring them down.
Yeah, but you both have to respect each other's worst day. Like a billionaire's worst day might be that he dropped his Rolex, you know? And I would be like, bro, I wish I had a Rolex, but you just can't act like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't even have a car right now.
Yeah. Empathy's huge. I think we'll wrap it up because I know you have to go.
I do.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having me,
Of
bro.
course, yeah. I was checking the sign because I know you said 4.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Yeah,
your
of course.
comment, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
of course.
absolutely.
It's
Y'all
great.
are in the hometown, so I had to pull up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm over here, bro.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I think it's always great to make connection, regardless of what the background is. We all work in the same industry, and so it's easy sometimes to forget that you like have people that you work alongside, even though you don't see them all the time.
Yeah.
That is one thing that is interesting about having multiple different locations now, and there's different managers that work very independently. Like myself, I work in Farragut, so there's days that you are at the shop before everybody else. You don't see anybody. You work all day alone, and then you come back when it's dark and you don't see anybody. It's like you feel very distant and abstract. And these types of things is what keeps it all together and reminds us our purpose and why we do it. So it's great.
Yeah, it makes it all worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. How? What is your goal with the podcast? You just gonna pump out as many as you possibly can, or
so it's called The Journey.
Yeah.
Which is I love it because in every single conversation, everyone's like the journey. It's like that's the point. That is literally the point.
Yep.
Documenting everything. 'Cause I don't remember, like, quick backstory. Whenever I was thinking about starting a business, because I transferred brand. So whenever I was thinking about it, I would always look online, like, okay, how to start a business, what it is that I need to do, how is it, and there would be like, some people like starting from the beginning, or like doing from $0 to $10,000, whatever. And it was always like, okay, like these are things that you could do by yourself, like, I don't know, like drop shipping, whatever you want to call it, like Amazon, or like reselling, whatever it is you want to say. These are things that you do independently that you can scale independently, like coaching and stuff. You can scale that independently, right? But those are, I don't want to disrespect anybody, but they're flashy things.
Yeah.
That bring a lot of attention.
of course.
And usually they don't last long. There's people that have been doing it for years. Great. Exceptions are amazing. But the common thing is that, they go out in like 2-3 years, they're done. So I would look at companies. I would look at the things that have been around for decades, pumping out gazillions of dollars, right? I always wanted to make a lot of money really fast because I wanted to retire early.
Yeah.
Now I don't think about retirement, but
You're documenting the journey.
yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, I want to be that person for that kid that wants to start something, doesn't really know what it feels like, doesn't really know what he's in for.
Yeah.
So I want to be like, listen, there's a lot of great things. You can make a lot of money, but you're also going to experience these things. You're going to experience doubt. You're going to experience betrayal. You're going to experience like the want to quit. You're also going to experience excitement. You're also going to be like, I can't wait to see what happens today. You're also going to experience, good people, bad people, horrible things, right? There's good, bad, and ugly in everything that you do. And especially when you choose to take a path in life that is out of the ordinary, but also seems ordinary in the fact that everybody wants to do it. Not a lot of people actually get to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, like, it's amazing. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to work for themselves. But there's a huge difference between the people that want to do it versus the people that do it, and versus the people that do it and actually succeed.
Yeah.
Right? So there's levels to this.
Yeah.
Someone's like, okay, I'm gonna take everybody through all the levels so they have a clear metric of like, okay, this is how it is. Like, there's no reason to cover up the ugliness. There's no reason to say that we are, sometimes we bleed money, sometimes we make a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
There's no shame in saying like, I made a bad hire. There's no shame in saying like, I made a bad call. There's no shame in saying that I woke up today, I decided not to work because I feel like shit.
Right.
It happens. We're humans.
This is the real.
It's the real world. Like, this is the whole point of the journey, right?
Yeah.
There's too much going on in social media that makes it seem like it's so easy. And it's like, overnight, in 30 days.
Get rich quick.
90 days. Like, yes, that's amazing. And that gets the clicks and that gets the likes, right?
Yeah.
But that's not going to get you the money. That's not going to get you the foundation of wealth that you need in order to live the life that you want to do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, let's document this. Let's see where this goes. Because I wish that everybody would have done that. Everybody that I look up to, I wish they would have done that when they were starting out.
Yeah, we always get the story after it's built.
After.
You're
Not
like,
beforehand.
okay, how did you get there though?
Exactly.
I don't think it was the 3-hour morning routine that made this
wasn't.
possible.
Yeah, I think
Definitely wasn't.
he has the journey, and then me, him, and Aiden have Moblo Go podcast.
Yeah.
And
No, we need
our-
to resuscitate.
Yeah, we kind of pause every now and again, but I think my goal for the Moblo Go was mainly because like we were FaceTiming each other
Yeah.
for hours on end, talking and trying to help each other. I was like, why don't we just take this conversation and record it, and people can learn off of that and take
Exactly.
bites off of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's part of the thing with like the Moblo Goes. It's not really to like make it a full blown podcast. It's just 3 guys trying to help each other.
Right.
Yeah,
it's like the what is the big Zoom call that we do with Augusta?
The quarterly
round-
round
Yeah,
table.
the round table. It's like making the round table public,
Yeah.
just putting that out there. No, I think it's great. I think any type of documentation that us young guys can do starting out is just, going to promote every aspect of our brand, personal brand, the Augusta brand moving forward. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, I also think that it's a great, this is like also my way of journaling, right? You might do it writing.
Yeah.
I cannot. I can't just, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I much rather
Can't
like
write in English.
all right. But I much rather talk. I much rather, that's a fucking guy, bro. But I much rather like, it's just easier.
Yeah.
Right? It's easier because I've always been very social, very like talkative. So I'm like, okay, might as well just do what works.
I've always been super into filmmaking and producing content.
Yeah.
I've done it my entire life.
It's fun.
It's so much fun, dude.
fun.
Yeah. And it's also like,
I think it's fun till I have to edit it. Then I want to throw my keyboard.
I think the editing process is even more fun because you get to like weave the story around.
yeah, I enjoy it, but there are definitely aspects of it. I'm just like, dude, I just need a clip. I need a post. Like,
Yeah.
I have so much content. There's sides to both of it, but I will say most people see it as very superficial to enjoy posting it and getting the reaction from people more than actually doing the podcast.
The thing, yeah.
And I think there's a flip side to all of it, but I find enjoyment in doing something I enjoy, which is, I don't always enjoy lawn care, but I will say that I enjoy sharing lawn care. I enjoy sharing the art of lawn care and doing the thing really, really well, being great at it, filming it nicely, editing it nicely, and then posting it and seeing other people enjoy it is so satisfying.
It is.
The entire process. And yes, I do love seeing people react well to content that I post. Regardless of what your opinion on that is like, I don't really care. I enjoy the full process of it,
Yeah.
including that bit.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think it's great. I think any type of documentation we can do now it's killer.
Yeah, I think it
Especially
is.
for
I
young
mean,
guys like us, there's not very many of them out there anymore.
yeah, there's not, and it's like I also, I mean, like the huge, like 360-degree view of it is like
Yeah.
make an impact for the generations, right? Like
Yeah.
like one thing, written word was game changing for humanity overall, right? But we're in an era where like not a lot of people are gonna sit down and read a book,
Right.
Some people do, and that's great. I liked reading, not as
Yeah.
much as I like watching,
Right.
So it's like the one thing that's gonna stick around for a very, very, very long time is YouTube, whether it's a video, whatever filmmaking it is. I mean, I love watching movies. I love dissecting the movie and seeing why they did this, why they did that, why they choose this camera angle, why not this one,
Yeah.
why did they go this way with the story or not. So it's like
This is a little bit of autism.
okay, but this is like my way of portraying my love for that, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's great. I mean, if it helps even one single person, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Oh
worth
yeah,
it.
dude.
So-
Absolutely. Yeah. It doesn't matter the amount.
Yeah.
It matters if it and even if nobody finds any positive impact from it, if this is your way of journaling and documenting and looking back one day and saying, dude, I've come so far. This is
yeah.
awesome to see this
I'm
kid.
gonna show my kids the stuff.
Right, exactly. I don't care who sees it. I feel the same way sometimes, and it's really cool for me to like. I post on Instagram, so that's like my one platform. So I'll scroll back, a long ways, and I'm like, dude, this is crazy.
I know.
This is where it came from.
I always go back to like the very first video that I ever posted. It's on YouTube, and I'm just like,
Cringe.
no way. There's no way I ever thought that was okay. But we live and we learn.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Anyways,
It's been good.
Yeah, it's been great. I love this. We're
Thanks for having me.
definitely gonna do a part 2 of this. This is.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's been.
We'll be back
amazing.
around.
I've definitely taken a lot of things that I need to work on, but
Bro, like I said, it's a great time of your life.
It is.
Like appreciate it. Because these are the moments that you will look back on and be like, that was a pivotal moment in my life.
yeah,
The most I've ever learned and the happiest I ever felt was when I decided to downsize my life, sell everything I owned, and just grind as hard as I could, work out as much as I could, and physically work as much as I could, and just focus on me. And that was the happiest I ever was. Once I told myself I'm not going to date again until I am fully satisfied with who I am as a person. It wasn't about, it was setting foot on that journey and being okay with it, that I was like, bro, it's just me in this big world and I'm going to attack it by myself. And if somebody wants to find me along the way and do it with me, that's great. If not, I'm cool with it too. And once you are okay, fully okay with taking that step, well, it's cake. It's a great time. So yeah, be thankful for it, bro.
Yeah.
And best of luck to you. You're
Thank
going to
you.
do great.
Thank you.
Well, Caleb, where can we find you at if anyone wants to see any of your content and your little videos you do?
Of
and
course.
all your fun stuff.
ALC Knoxville is my Instagram handle. It's also on Facebook. I think it's under my personal name, Caleb Storts, but Instagram is kind of is my home base.
Yeah.
I would love to get into longer form content. I don't know about a podcast. I enjoy.
I'll help you out.
Yeah,
You know.
that's my guy. You got me.
Yeah, you get. All right.
That's it,
Caleb,
bro.
thank you for your time. Appreciate
Of
it.
course.
Thank you so much for listening and for watching. It really does mean the world to us, and we really appreciate every single one of you who sticks around all the way until the end. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave us a review on the podcast platform. It really does help us grow. And until next time, see you guys.